Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today, I want to take a closer look at some AI news that I believe is very bullish for companies that have AI accelerators. Obviously, the two main players here are Nvidia and AMD, and maybe some Intel with their Gaudi 2 and Gaudi 3. So, in today's episode, I want to take a closer look at this AI news that I believe just kind of showcases the strength of AI demand for at least 2024. And then I want to take a closer look at some of the products that these companies kind of have in this market that can obviously boost well. So, let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so first let's start off with the article, and this is going to be one that came out a few days ago where we see generative AI startup Anthropic reportedly on track to deliver $850 million in annual revenue in 2024. And this is a huge boost because the company is currently kind of generating roughly about $100 million on an annual run rate. And back in September, they mentioned that for 2024, they expected those numbers to top at 500 billion. Now, there are numerous people who are familiar with this company's financial data that are saying that, hey, look, it's actually not going to be 500 million, is going to jump up to 850 million. And by seeing those huge increases in kind of their their annualized revenue run rate, we can safely assume that it means that generative AI and just AI solutions continue to grow at a fast pace and faster than most people expected. For those that are not familiar, Anthropic is a company that provides kind of AI solutions very similar to ChatGPT. For example, they have Cloud, which is their most powerful AI model that they're using right now. Then they have Cloud Instant, which is cheaper yet still very, very capable. So this is one that again combats those likes of kind of Bard, of kind of OpenAI's ChatGPT. One of the kind of important things of Anthropics is this is one that's being backed by a lot of big players. Google and Amazon are two top tech companies that are backing this company. We do know, if we take a closer look here, I believe we do know that recently the company did see about a $4 billion investment from Amazon and about a $2 billion investment from Google in the past few months. And prior to that, Google had already invested roughly $300 million earlier this year. So there are reports that actually Google owns about 10% of the company when they made their initial investments, which I think is pretty interesting. We can see from this article in April, Google invested $300 million in the company, taking a 10% stake. So we can see these investments in AI companies can obviously bode well for a lot of big tech players if they invest in these startups, as I do believe the kind of now valuation of Anthropic has kind of ballooned dramatically. So again, the reason I believe this is really strong for AI hardware companies is if you are seeing this huge boost in AI demand, that means that there's going to be the need for a lot of AI accelerators. And a lot of those AI accelerators are the GPUs that both AMD and Nvidia provide. We can see year to date, Nvidia is up 245%, and AMD has been killing it these past few this past month or so, as the stock is now up over 126%. And one of the main reasons is we can see here in Nvidia's side, data center market has kind of grown dramatically. In quarter one of fiscal year 2024, this was roughly a $4.3 billion. Now in quarter three was roughly a $14.5 billion. It's more than 3x in just 2 quarters. And that is insane on itself. And we do expect these revenue numbers to continue. And if we start to see startups like AI Anthropic continue to see and increase their projection revenue, then I do believe we're also going to continue to see the strong demand for AI accelerators. And before we go any further, guys, if you haven't, make sure to hit the thumbs up, the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 30,000 by the end of the year. We have a few days. I'm not sure if we're going to do it, but who knows? Maybe this video might be it. Also, check out my special offer at fool.com/Jose. For those that are not familiar, AMD in their most recent AI event, which was earlier in December, they do mention that, hey, in 2023, the AI accelerator market is about a $45 billion market. They see this growing at about a 70% compounded annual growth rate to $400 billion in 2027. And here in the AI accelerator market, we do have a lot of big solutions from both Nvidia and AMD. Here in Nvidia, we have kind of their biggest and most popular solution, which is the NVIDIA H100. This is the one that's shipping out right now already, and that we have seen reports that right now lead times are still almost a year. And that just kind of talks about the huge demand that NVIDIA has. Their next kind of AI solution they have is the NVIDIA Grace Hopper Superchip. This is the strength of their CPU and GPU put in together, the Grace Hopper 200. The other super solution is NVIDIA just announced their next iteration, not their next generation, but their next iteration of the H200, which is going to have more memory than the H100 and obviously going to be needed for the increasements of AI workloads. And NVIDIA is also working on their next generation, the Blackwell, right here, the Blackwell 100, which is also expected to come out in the late half of 2024. So NVIDIA is one that can definitely benefit. And outside of just individual accelerators, NVIDIA is one that kind of sells it as an infrastructure solution. For example, the DGX H100, which comes with GPUs, it comes with switches, it comes with networking solutions, it comes with CPUs and kind of memory, and the list goes on. So NVIDIA is doing really well here with their kind of infrastructure, and then you can kind of even create supercomputers as well, as NVIDIA does provide those solutions as well. Now, AMD is not too far behind. They do have their MI300X accelerator, which is a nice competition against the H100, or so many people say. So obviously, this just recently came out, and we are going to see a ramping up process of this in the upcoming quarters for AMD. Outside of that, AMD has the MI300A, which is very similar to NVIDIA's Grace Hopper Superchip, which is a mixture of a GPU and a CPU together, which obviously bodes well with the current market opportunity right now. And then finally, AMD also has kind of a form of infrastructure solution to some extent, the AMD Instinct MI300X platform. This doesn't come with like CPUs or memory or kind of like other solutions out there, like the complete package, like the DGX H100. This is more expected to drop down on plug and play onto kind of the standard that we're seeing in data centers. So obviously, AMD is also trying to play nice here by creating some form of infrastructure solution. Now, we are seeing that current PE ratio forwards, which end this quarter, which is happening right now. AMD is sitting at 53.98, NVIDIA is sitting at 40. Remember, these are PE ratios after the company ends this quarter. But now if we take a closer look at forward 1 year, so the next 12 months from now, AMD's PE ratio is sitting at about 38, NVIDIA's PE ratio is sitting at 24. So NVIDIA is definitely looking pretty cheap. To some extent, I do believe the market might be underestimating how much AMD can grow from the AI accelerator market. And we haven't seen too many analysts update their revenue and earnings per share forecast. And this is something that I guess we're going to have to wait and see in the upcoming quarters and earnings to see how AMD gains in this AI accelerator market. But like I mentioned, if we are seeing a huge boost in revenue just from AI startups like Anthropic, I can't imagine the amount of AI revenue that's going to be coming from the big players like Microsoft, like OpenAI, and some of the other players out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.